Hello everyone and welcome to a new video. Today we're going to do an individual reading for NCT's Jaemin. In this video, we will look at his current energy, his career, love life, and any healing messages that go through. And right off the bat, I kind of wanted to mention that he made like comics or like mangas, or it could it could be digital ones, so the ones that you scroll down, or the ones that you turn pages with, or whatever you want to call them. So I just thought that was interesting because we have the manga tarot and then the traditional manga tarot, so I just thought that was something to put out there. And with all of that, let's get into his reading, which we will start off with his current energy. See, how is Jaemin doing with his current energy? The first card that we have is the Two of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords, the Five of Wands, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Eight of Wands. So right off the bat, there's this sense of there's some trouble going on. I don't think it's anything too drastic. You have the Nine of Swords, so usually the Nine of Swords means someone that is overwhelmed and probably stressed with a lot of mental activity going on. So a lot of thoughts, a lot of ideas, and a lot of things that are holding him back. There seems to be that's his main imbalance, because we have the Two of Pentacles, and the Two of Pentacles usually means trying to find balance between two ideas or two things, or just two concepts, I guess you could put it that way. So let's say trying to find the balance between your heart and your mind, or trying to find the balance between the physical and the non-physical things. But it's reversed, so this tells me that he has not been too successful in maintaining that balance within himself. We also have the Five of Wands, and usually the Five of Wands talks about conflict. Now, I feel that since it's in between the Seven of Pentacles and the Nine of Swords, it symbolizes internal conflict, even though it's not reversed. And usually when I see the Five of Wands reversed, to me that symbolizes internal conflict. But in this case, I see the same thing anyway. So there's something in his head that is overwhelming him. It's taking too much out of him somehow. And the Seven of Pentacles usually means to be patient. You plant the seeds that will later bear fruit, but you need to wait for them to do that. And the fact that the Seven of Pentacles is reversed tells me that he seems to be losing his patience in something, and that's creating some sort of insecurity. A lot of stress is creating doubt and worry for him, and because of that, it feels like right now he's going through that internal conflict very strongly, because it feels like he really wants to take action, or he feels very strong focused energy in one direction, because we have the Eight of Wands, and the Eight of Wands is the energy of something that's constantly moving, or something that, it's where everything is going in one direction. So you feel the movement a lot stronger, or you see it, or it's a lot more focused. So it kind of feels like he may feel like something big is happening, or he wants things to just start moving and wants to see things pick up somehow, because it's right next to that Seven of Pentacles, which I mentioned, that shows his impatience. So it could be something along those lines. Let's see what else we have. So I'm going to take out clarifiers for all of the cards we have above us. We have the Nine of Wands, we have the Magician, or the Sorceress, we have the Five of Swords underneath the Five of Wands, we have the King of Wands reversed, and the Five of Cups. So we have only one cup, meaning that whatever is bothering him is not an emotional imbalance. It's something within his mind, within his thinking, or his way of seeing things. But let's go on to this first card. This Nine of Wands symbolizes that he's very guarded, and probably that feeling of trying to, since he has his walls up, it kind of feels that he's finding it very difficult to find that balance within himself. Probably the balance within his reality and whatever's in his head. I'm still not really seeing what it is that's worrying him, but it could be that there's a change going on currently, and that's what's getting in not in his nerves as in like he's getting mad, but in his nerves as in getting kind of anxious about how things are going to turn out. So this kind of tells me that he may be a little bit too attached to the results of the situation he's in, rather than understanding the present moment he's standing on. We also have the sorceress right underneath the 9 of Swords. So that kind of tells me that he is struggling because he wants to make something happen, or he wants to manifest something, but there's this sense of creating an idea or a project, but it's like taking action, because to me this magician reminds me a lot of the suits of the wands, which is fire energy, which is follow your desires, your passions, and whatever drives you forward. But it's underneath this 9 of Swords, so it tells me that he's finding it very difficult to embody this magician position, or this energy is supposed to be like the beginning of a project, and it's supposed to symbolize the having the ability to just create anything and making anything happen. We also have the 5 of Swords right underneath the 5 of Wands, meaning that not only does he have internal conflict, but he may lack some sort of discipline, and this discipline is something within his mind because it's Swords. So his intellect, his perspective, and his way of seeing things is what's getting in the way, and he lacks that discipline to understand how his mind works and how that actually relates with his 3D physical reality, which is the imbalance that he has with that 2 of Pentacles. The other card that we have is the King of Wands reversed, telling me that he feels like he lacks the creativity, the peace of mind, and the childlike energy that a Leo tends to carry. Leos, which I believe is his sun sign anyway, are known to be over dramatic, but I don't think that's his issue right now. They tend to be childlike or childish in a way, because they tend to be very optimistic and enjoy life. And I feel like that's one of the things that he may be lacking from that Leo energy. The ability to feel confident, which is another quality Leos tend to have, or this King of Wands will have. He also seems to lack the creativity in the sense of finding the beauty in life and finding the confidence to go through with life, or finding the optimism he needs to move forward with life. So it kind of feels like there's this sense of his impatience has crippled him in a way of not being able to just enjoy the process and the journey he's in, and making it very, very difficult for him to just see the positive in the situation he's currently in, because there is a lot of changes. We have 2 9s that to me symbolize the ending of a cycle, so putting an end to a chapter, and then we have 2 5s that represent change. So this change is kind of tipping him off his balance, his center point, but it's not supposed to be too difficult. It's just supposed to be a change. So it may feel overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be that way necessarily. I think his mental blockage is what is making this difficult, but not necessarily anything physical yet. The other card that we have is a 5 of Cups, which again, another 5, which symbolizes change. But this 5 of Cups tells me that he may feel a bit lost and is very pessimistic at the present moment. Seems like there is a change coming towards him, and he may be anxiously waiting for it, kind of like a sense of excitement, but at the same time a sense of fear that is coming towards him. This change is something that I hope is beneficial for him. I think all changes are necessary, so it doesn't necessarily mean it's gonna be easy though. It's just necessary. It's gonna happen anyways. It's not his say if the change will happen or not. It's just how he goes through with that change. That is what he has a power over. But this 5 of Cups tells me that he's very pessimistic. He's focusing on what he has lost without really noticing what it is that he has. And since we see a reflection of the woman on this river, it kind of tells me that the way that he can stay positive in the current situation is by focusing on his own reflection, and by focusing in that reflection and seeing his internal strength, which is this King of Wands, but upright, of course, not reversed. It symbolizes that he has the passion to continue moving forward. He has the drive and strength to just push forward. He may be a little bit impatient, and it could lead to a little bit of recklessness, but that doesn't necessarily mean that he doesn't have the abilities, the skills to move forward within his own projects and within his own path. So to me, it feels like there is a lot of positivity within the skills that he has, but he may not be realizing it at the present moment. There might be a little bit of problems with communication, because this 2 swords kind of tells me that he may lack the ability to be affirmative with himself and say nice things to himself. Reassuring himself, I guess, is what I'm trying to look for. Being able to say, okay, I'm good at this other thing, and because of that, it will benefit me and help me in doing this other things. So it feels like currently he's a party pooper and he's going through it, which we will see in what areas that will affect him, or we will see in the second area, which is his career, and see, it could be that the changes in his career and that's what's affecting him as much as it could be in other areas of his life. So with that, let's just go on to his career and see what's up with that. So how is Jaemin's career like? The first card that came out is potential. So it seems like he may not be able to realize the potential he has within his own career, or he may be struggling with seeing the abilities and skills that he carries with him. You know, that the King of Wands that we saw earlier, it's reversed. The imbalance is there. We have Neptune for his career. So he may be struggling to connect with his higher self. Oh, we have Neptune in Pisces. So this is very, 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 very interesting. So Neptune is a ruler of Pisces, meaning that he may be struggling with all of the things that he cannot see. So it feels like his career is a physical manifestation of his 12th house. I don't know how his natal chart looks like, but that's what I'm getting. That because Pisces is the natural ruler of the 12th house, and the 12th house is all about addictions, the unknown, mystery, spirituality, and stuff like that. And Neptune is the... I don't know. I don't really know what Neptune does. It just does things. But what I'm trying to get at is that it feels like, alright, Neptune, that's the thing I was looking for. To me right now, Neptune is telling me that he is maybe... in his career, he will be able to get closer to his higher self. And higher self tends to be, some people can see it as a guardian angel, some people can see it as a spirit guide, but essentially it's just the best version or the truest version of himself. So Jaemin is currently going through a difficult period because it seems like in his career, his career is reflecting all of the, in the most physical way possible, reflecting all of the things that he cannot see and all of those unknowns and mysteries within his person. So in a way, it could be very helpful in making him understand the good things that are going on within him, but it could also make it very difficult and make him realize through his career the things that he's lacking as well. But this potential tells me that there's a lot of good things that could come in his career, but he may not be in the right mentality to make them happen, or he may be blocking them somehow. There seems to be some inner child healing that he may have to do, or he's overprotecting his heart within his career, because we see a little face right here as this person is like that. There's a lot of yellow in this card specifically, so he may lack confidence, trust, creativity, and optimism. The other card that we have is knowledge. So it feels like he lacks the knowledge of who he is as a person and all of this 12th house business, right? We also have Angel of Snow. So he feels left out in the cold. He feels like he's on his own. He feels like nobody's there to support him. But I don't think that's necessarily the case, because if he's not centered within himself, it will be very difficult for him to realize all of the help that he's getting externally. It will be difficult for him to also realize the gem that he has within his heart, because it kind of looks like this pearl symbolizes that. He may have some difficulty making his mission happen, because I'm getting that there's this sense of being humanitarian or loving the whole world type of business with this Pisces card, that if he has those intentions, it might be kind of difficult for him to show that in his career, or to make that mission happen in his career. The other thing that I'm getting with that knowledge is mainly that it's supposed to be about the knowledge that he carries about himself as a person, and the growth and the skills and all of that within his own journey. And again, it feels like his career is the physical manifestation that is helping him change and transform his person. We have the elk and we have the hawk. So we have air and earth. So there's this sense of needing to be balanced, because the element of earth and air are opposites. This elk shows this sense of maturity and strength, and there's a lot of activity like in the head of these two cards, so it kind of tells me that there's definitely a lot of ideas that are slowly hardening or manifesting or slowly becoming stronger and better. So it feels like in his career he's slowly getting the creativity that he needs to move forward. This hawk is actually pretty high up there in the food chain, and it's an air sign, so this kind of tells me that he's slowly maturing in his way of communicating, or at least he's trying to mature in his way of thinking. And because of that, wanted or not, he's realizing the conflicts within his own character. And by character, I mean his personality and his way of going through with life. So I feel like he's slowly maturing and he's slowly seeing things from a different point of view. There's also very similar colors because we have red, orange, and yellow on both of these cards. So that tells me that he's grounding a lot of his energy. And if you see it this way, we have Pisces and Neptune up here. And then we have the animal cards down here, telling me that he's working very hard to ground himself, and he's working with his three lower chakras, which is the solar plexus, the sacral chakra, and the root chakra, meaning that he's working with what he decides. Okay, let me go in order. The solar plexus is supposed to be that confidence, that optimism, the creativity, and trust within himself. The sacral chakra is orange, and that one symbolizes his desires and passions and whatever is his driving force within his life. And the root chakra represents all of the material and physical things that ground us. That's why, hence the root chakra, and that's symbolized by red. So that kind of tells me that on one side, he's like growing through his journey in a non-physical spiritual type of way, and Pisces is a water sign, so I guess emotionally also healing whatever he has to heal. And I think the main thing that he has to heal is that he may have a hurt ego, or his pride could have been hurt within his career. And by that, I don't necessarily maybe the people that he works with could have put him down somehow, or he may have started to compare himself a lot with the people that he works with and realize that maybe he doesn't have the skills to do what they do. But because of that, he's somehow putting himself down or lowering his not his expectations, but the way that he views himself. Like he's like almost stepping on it and not paying attention to the true power and confidence and skills that he has. I feel that the fake it till you make it right now is not a good idea for him. Because I feel that he's already doing that and is becoming kind of unhealthy for him in his career. And by unhealthy, I mean that he's just not happy. He's not content necessarily. It's kind of like he's just trying to survive every day and everything. The other thing that I'm kind of getting with him is that because of that in his career, he may not seem that genuine on stage, and wanted or not, he can't be in the spotlight if he doesn't have this certain sense of being genuine. Or like even if he's on stage, it's hard to find him and see him because he does not want to be seen or found or looked at anyway. He doesn't want to be in the spotlight, and that's because he feels like he doesn't have the skills or the confidence to be under that light, if that makes sense. So he may not be able to see his full potential currently. But let's take out some tarot to get a better idea of how his career will look like in the future. You know, when he gets this confidence, what are the rewards? We have Judgment. We have the Five of Wands reversed. I guess I'll take two more. We have the Two of Cups reversed. And we have the Three of Wands. So I guess the rewards that he could get by getting that confidence again. The first thing that I kind of got my attention was the Five of Wands reversed. The Five of Wands reversed in this case does feel that whatever internal conflict he has is just going to go away. Because I think him lacking that confidence and like talking down on himself and not being able to realize the skills that he has, the confidence that he has, and the optimism he should carry on with his journey, then I think he will be able to manifest that magician, the King of Wands energy we saw in his current energy in that area of the reading. It also feels like with all of that, he will be able to just go forward with his path and get over that blockage that he currently has going on. This Judgment card is one where he will be able to hear clearly what he has to do. And if you see right here, there's like this big trumpet, if you want to put it that way, and it kind of symbolizes that he will be able to hear his inner calling, which is something that kind of makes sense with this Neptune and Pisces thing, being able to just be in silence and hear that message. And those messages are going to be his guidance of what will both make him happy, but also will satisfy all of his physical needs, if that makes sense. This Three of Wands kind of tells me that he will have an easier time work. This is like a good business card, so it's good that it appeared in his career. So if he were to get that confidence and see the potential that he carries and the skills that he carries, he will be very lucky and will be benefiting from the fact that there's a lot of people coming his way, a lot of people he can work with, a lot of contracts that can be made, a lot of partnerships that will be successful, and the people that need to come and work with him are going to start coming, and he will be able to expand his horizons career-wise. So not only will he be having the drive and passion to move forward, but he will finally have that support and that teamwork that he needs to continue being successful. And by teamwork, I don't necessarily mean the rest of NCT. I mean contracts. So it will also be people like staff, producers, and stuff like that, or whoever he's going to end up working with. And this Two of Cups reverse is the only thing that is kind of like keeping me a little bit like, I don't get it, I don't understand, so I'm going to take out more cards to get clarifiers. So to me, it kind of tells me like it's just going to help him with his career, but maybe his love life will not necessarily be benefiting from this confidence that he has. I'm not too sure why. To me, the Two of Cups symbolizes a deeper connection, so soulmates type of thing. So his contracts will be based on his skill rather than his spiritual, deep, emotional connection he may have with these people. We have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, so it tells me that there's still quite a journey for his love life to work, it feels like, because to me the Two of Cups symbolizes that, but it's reversed, so it kind of means like his love life ain't going to be doing that well if he does this change, right? So it seems like he may have to heal some other things to make his love life work. Confidence is not really the thing getting on the way of his love life. If anything, maybe continuing with his career could make him be so laser focused on that it could get on the way of his love life somehow. But you have the Nine of Pentacles reversed, so it tells me that there's like a warning of don't be too codependent with your with the people that you work with. There's this sense of like he's a very loyal person, so the other warning that I'm kind of getting is that with the partnerships that he makes, the career contract related stuff that he makes, he needs to be very careful and allow himself to let go of the people that don't work with him or don't function with whatever view he has for his career. And it's kind of like he may want to work with those people because he may lack the confidence within his own skill, but even if he were to take that little step and realize the potential that he has, it will take him a while before he can meet those like that strong group that will help him with his career, if that makes sense. It's kind of like it just makes things a little bit more bearable and a little bit more manageable, but it doesn't mean this is the end goal, if that makes sense. This is just a little jump over an obstacle to make things a little bit easier. Not the best though, just better. So yeah, this Nine of Pentacles is reversed symbolizes some sort of lack of independence. So I think he's just getting a warning of not being too codependent with the people he's working with, or not relying too much on them, and more like start working on your own like individual projects type of thing. So now I just want to see if there's any last messages for his career. We have the High Priestess, so there's definitely this sense of having to balance his like spiritual side and his physical side, because the High Priestess symbolizes the moon, and the moon is a water sign as well because it's ruled by Cancer, yada yada yada. So this tells me that there's a lot of like emotional things that are going to start coming into play with his career, but the first step is to get rid of the mental blockages that he has that get in the way of him realizing the potential and skills that he has for his career. So it kind of feels like he needs to embrace a little bit more of his feminine energy to nurture his career a little bit more, but the first step for sure is to get that confidence again, the confidence within his own skills and his own power and his own way of viewing himself, if you want to put it that way. So yeah, this high priestess kind of symbolizes that there needs to be some sort of balance within his heart and his mind, his soul, his spirit, all of that. Like there seems to be a need for balance within him. So this is not so much his external environment issues, conflict, is more within himself. Like if he were able to balance something within himself, it will make things a lot easier to just get things done within his career and probably in other areas of his life as well. So it seems like the biggest issue right now within himself is his way of thinking. So with that, I will put this away and go on to his love life. So let's check what energy Jaemin has for his love life. Just one card to understand the general, I guess, energy in his love life. You know, just to get an idea of what's going on. Is there nothing going on with his love life, I wonder? Okay, so the first card that we have is Unity. Well, okay. I guess there's some sort of connection going on with his love life, and that's why Unity is a thing. So, I don't think he's making a video game, is he? Haha, boom. We have the Angel of Night. So we have we have the Moon, and then we have Earth right here. The other card that we have is Right Leg Endurance. So it seems like there is. I still don't know who is who yet. Like I don't know which energy is Jaemin and which other energy is like his potential partner, whoever stepped in somehow. But someone has been dreaming of the other person, and it seems like there's a spiritual connection being established already. Someone is working hard and just surviving with life. Someone feels like they have like the world on their shoulders, and this other person feels like there's a very strong connection and constantly dream of the other person. I still don't know who is who though. You have the Angel of Silence. So yeah, I'm getting that this person is very secretive, very, very, very private. Oh, we have connection. Okay, seems like both of them are conscious of the connection they have with each other. And it feels like this energy is Jaemin, and this energy is whatever partner, love interest has presented itself to this reading. We have the Angel of Mysteries. One last card for him. And he got the Angel of Death. So it feels like there's like a strong connection between Jaemin and his partner, because the Angel of Death kind of got me right away that there's some sort of like past life connection between both of them, and it feels like they may have made a promise to meet again in like the next life type of thing, and because of that there is already a spiritual connection between both of them. So this could definitely be some sort of soulmate. So there seems to be a unity within them, and let me see. I'm seeing where the hands are that this angel has on this earth, and it feels like it's between Europe or the Midwest and South America. So that could be the places where they had their past life connection, as much as it could be the places that they want to establish their home, if that makes sense. So I don't want to say that this is where the person is from. There is a chance, but it kind of feels like it's also, it could be like where they met in the past as much as it could be where they want to be in the future, because each place like on Earth has a specific energy that matches well with us or doesn't match that well with us. So you could be, and it could be as big as like a country, and it could be as small as an apartment, if that makes sense. Even as small as like the room. I don't know if you guys have like are sensitive enough to realize, or you're conscious and aware of it enough, that sometimes there's some places in the place you're living in that feels more comfortable than others. So that's kind of what I mean by that energy could mean that that's where they both want to establish their relationship and grow and live there and stay there type of thing. So I just kind of want to put those places out there. The other thing that I'm getting is that it feels like there's a guardian angel protecting this connection that they both have. It feels like there is fate and destiny pulling strings to make this happen, and one of the strings that is keeping them connected is making one of them aware of the connection and making them dream of the other. But also it feels like he is aware of this connection, even if he doesn't have a name or a face or anything physical for it. I feel that there is enough of a spiritual connection for him to at least know, okay, there is someone out there waiting for me, or there is someone that I want to be with specifically, even if he doesn't have the specific details of this other person. This other person feels like his love interest feels like it's very private. We have the angel of mystery, the angel of night, and the angel of silence. So it kind of feels like this is someone that is very, 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 very private, very quiet. And by quiet, I don't mean physically quiet. I mean that at least spiritually or mentally, they don't say much. And I'm not saying that this person doesn't think at all. I'm just saying that this is someone that prefers to just keep to themselves a lot of things. Actually, they don't like to share a lot of what they go through, and it could be because they're protecting themselves as much as that's just the energy that they carry. And with him, we have the angel of death, and that angel of death was what told me that they had potentially a past life connection. We have the root, so there seems to be a lot of things going for him of trying to ground himself and stay in the present moment and stay in the physical realm. So maybe he loves to daydream and lose himself within his own fantasy of how the world could be, or losing himself within this visionary outlook of how things are, or he's just daydreaming all of the time. And because of that, it feels like he's getting a lot of cards saying like, you need to ground yourself, you need to balance yourself, you need to root yourself somehow. We also have we have right leg endurance, so that kind of tells me that he has a lot of responsibilities and a lot of things he's carrying on his shoulders. So he is definitely very strong. He's definitely, and by strong I don't mean physically strong necessarily, I mean like emotionally, mentally strong type of thing, the things that we don't see and the things that people don't talk about, but we definitely need to have. It also feels like both of them have a lot of wings. So there a lot of divine guidance and protection for both of them. Feels like there's also this very important thing with him about having that knowledge, because we have an apple, and that taught me, knowledge. We also have the book, which also tells me like, sacred secrets or knowledge or information. So things that are very important for both of them. It could be from their soul or their person as much as it could just be information about the connection itself. But it seems like they both know a lot, but from different venues, if that makes sense. Like, this individual is someone that gets it through dreams and visions and all of the, I guess, witchy stuff that you guys could call it, like, right? I guess psychic or not conventional type of things. Ways of getting information. And with him, it feels like it's a little bit more grounded and more aware, if that makes sense. Like, it feels like he's more spiritually aware of how the connection functions and how it works than this other individual. It feels like his love interest is a lot more like it's okay without really knowing how things function. They just know stuff, if that makes sense. It seems like their connection is very important. We have the sun in Aquarius, so there is a chance that his romantic interest is an sun sign Aquarius, so maybe born in January, February, potentially. Or it could be someone that is very non-conventional, someone that loves to think outside the box, do things differently, someone that likes to show off this new side of themselves, likes to be very positive and optimistic, someone that likes to be balanced. It could be someone that is very confident in being different, being unique, and looking, thinking, and doing things differently. And with him, we have fire and Cancer. So it feels like he's very, Jaemin is more friendly, more homely, very, very passionate, a little bit impatient and reckless, but definitely very loving, very caring, very home-like. So I do feel that they could both get along very well, because I don't necessarily think they're opposites, even if at first glance it may seem that way, because it feels like he's more conventional than this person is. It also feels like a lot of people will be able to see the strong connection that they have with each other, even though a lot of people will think they're very different. Not necessarily opposites attract. It's just that this person is just completely out there differently type of thing. They think differently, they speak differently, and speak differently, yeah, could be like they speak a different language. As much as I feel that they express themselves in such a way that people are like, we kind of get what you're saying, but we don't really get what you're saying. And that's because this person just has their own way of thinking and their own language, and they're not afraid of expressing themselves however it is that they want to express themselves, because they're not waiting for anyone's approval. They're not waiting for other people to understand them and catch up to them. They're just doing their own thing, going at their own flow, their own rhythm, their own tempo. And if other people can catch up, good on them, and if not, too bad for them as well. This person seems to be very like they walk their path on their own type of thing. And for Jaemin, it feels like he's very passionate. Again, a lot of energy within his head, so he thinks a lot, it feels, or he's very lost within his own mind. If he's very passionate, again, I feel that I think I spit on my car by accident. I'm sorry. It feels like he truly appreciates the people he's surrounded with, because that Cancer card tells me that he likes to be at home. He's okay being by himself, but he definitely feels this connection for sure. He may be sinking kind of low, and by that I don't mean anything bad. I just mean that he is surrounding himself by his own feelings, his own emotions, and stuff like that. I thought I dropped some cards, but I didn't. So I want to understand both of them a little bit better. We have the dolphin and we have the wolf. So yeah, for him, it's very important to stabilize a connection. This pack mentality, this home mentality, family is very important for him. So for him, the connection will be a lot of stabilizing and organizing. Okay, we're going to be together, we're going to function together. He's definitely very, very loyal to his partner. He seems to also gain a lot of confidence and be very and looking forward a lot to finding his soulmate, partner, other half, however you want to call it. And for his love interest, it feels like this is someone, it has a dolphin, so this is someone that goes very well with their emotions, but they're not necessarily overly emotional. They're just very content, happy, and optimistic, and very carefree. I feel that this is someone that just does whatever the hell they want to do, and he's okay with that. He's perfectly fine with it. He's just very stable and grounded, so he seems to just be like, you can do whatever you want as long as we both know where we stand in this connection and in this relationship. So I don't feel anything bad between them necessarily, as much as it's just things are happening. So the connection itself, we have fish. So grounding themselves and rooting themselves within the depths of water, if that makes sense. And water symbolizes creativity, spirituality, and emotions. Oy. Let's see what else. Fish. That is making me think again of that Pisces card he got in his career. I don't know how he will meet this person, so maybe I'll take out some cards. But I feel that... Oh, I just kind of want to know if there's any obstacles in their love life. Which one is it? Scorpion. So I think the biggest obstacle is that the connection is so intense that they don't know what to do with it. But it also feels like they're also both very cautious of the connection itself. It also feels like this person is so private that they find it kind of difficult to, like, in the inside they're so private, it's difficult to just open up to somebody else, which in this case is Jaemin. And for him, he has like this is my little circle, this is my bubble, so it's also hard for him to open up and allow someone in his vicinity, if that makes sense. So it feels like that's the main obstacle for both of them, just to allow somebody else within their own connection. Feels like the spiritual connection that they have is too intense for them. So there's nothing bad with that. It's just like, well, things happen, right? What was... I had a question in mind. I think I'm forgetting what it is. I guess a journey to each other. So yeah, like, the connection is a little bit too intense for both of them, and that's kind of like the main obstacle, right? It's like, it's so pure of love and care and understanding and all of that is kind of terrifying. It's kind of like, ooh, I don't know what to expect of that. So what question do I have? I don't know how to word my question. Let's see. I guess the journey to each other. So we have the sun and the world of reverse. So it feels like, you know, it's out of his control how this connection is going to happen, but there is going to bring him a lot of happiness, a lot of positivity, a lot of confidence. We have the sun right here. So this person is going to bring the sun to Jaemin. So it kind of feels like there's a lot of positive things that are going to come out of this relationship. They could establish a family together, but it feels like fate is still doing its own thing, and it's kind of difficult for both of them to even know how to get together physically, because it feels like there's a high chance they haven't met yet, I think. But this is definitely something very big in his life, because we have two major arcana, so it's definitely something big for him. And it's going to be when the connection happens, is going to be when he's about to end a very big chapter in his life. Because we have 19 and 21. Okay, let's see for this person. The journey to him. Yeah, this person hesitates a lot. We have the King of Swords, the Ace of Swords, and the Chariot. Okay. So you know how I said that this person was going to bring the sun, as in like the star type of thing, to Jaemin? Well, he is going to bring Cancer energy to this person. And by Cancer energy, I mean feeling nurture and this motherly feeling of taking care of someone, protecting them, guiding them if needed, providing for them in the most loving way possible, and having a strong emotional connection. And by emotional, I don't mean like they're both going to be crybabies, as most people think of Cancer. I mean, like, this is a very strong, loyal, and established relationship between both of them. And I think that with this Cancer vibes, both of them are going to really desire and want to establish not only home, but also have a very clear idea of a relationship. So I feel it's going to be very healthy for both of them. This is not like a toxic relationship at all. It's just difficult because it's kind of like the end game type of thing, right? And they're both going to really want to establish a family, as in having kids, if that makes sense. I do feel that kids will play a role in the relationship because it feels like they want that, or they will be okay with that. But yeah, we have the King of Swords and the Ace of Swords. So also this person, when they're ending a cycle, not a big of a chapter as his, but this is within their person. It's like when this person becomes the King of Swords, then they will be able to start a physical communication channel with him, if that makes sense. So it could be like a long distance relationship type of thing. Like it could happen. What is the other thing that I'm getting? It feels like a better understanding of each other's perspectives and roles in the connection is also going to be very well established. What is the other thing? This person is going to be very confident with the way that they speak. Again, it's not going to be conventional though. So even if they don't speak the same language, or even if this person expresses themselves very differently, they're going to be okay. They're going to have a very strong connection, communication wise. So it's kind of like there's a very healthy understanding between them that I think this connection will definitely be worth the wait for him. But yeah, we have the Chariot, so it feels like they may meet when this person is traveling. It could be a vacation, like going on vacation, that's how they meet, or when this person is just going out about their normal day and then they meet somehow, because I think this Chariot symbolizes something physical though, so this is a physical change. And if you see here, we have the King and the Chariot looking directly forward towards us, I guess you want to put it that way. So this kind of symbolizes that this is someone that when they have their head in one, or like goal in mind, they just go for it. And when they're going for that goal, whatever that is just going to be a one-way ticket towards him, if that makes sense. So there's no room for failure in this connection necessarily. It's just going to happen when it happens. So if anything, he just has to wait for it to happen, and this person has to wait for it to happen. But yeah, the biggest blockage is that it's just a little bit too intense for both of them to handle at the time. It's just like there's just too much going on. I don't really know what this means, how it feels. Like they feel stuff, but they don't know what to name it, what to call it. So it's kind of difficult for both of them in that, I guess, area. But with all of that said, one last thing actually, I feel like this person will have a nice smile or very pretty hair. Just putting that out there. Or maybe like a nice laugh. I don't know, something along smile, or maybe the happiness is contagious type of thing, something like that. But anyway, let's go on to the last area of this individual reading, which is any healing messages for Jaemin. Okay, so let's see what healing messages we have for Jaemin. So we have the Nightingale Spirit, love is all around. So this is giving me strong Five of Pentacles energy. Is the reassurance of you're not alone. We're here for you. People love you. People care for you. People will be right there to support you when you need it. They will be there to help you when you need it. If you need messages specifically, they're there for you and stuff along those lines. Oh, okay. We have the Electric Eel Spirit, bring your ideas to life. Here's the other card we have. We have the Giraffe Spirit, see the big picture. So I think I'm going to actually put some space in between them, because I'm getting this strong feeling of using another deck as well. So it kind of feels like right now he's so like tunnel vision. This impatience that we were getting in his current energy is kind of leaking towards his healing messages. It's like, we want to, in this conclusion, we want to remind you that you are having some issues with your impatience and your imbalance, and because of that, you are so laser focused on one thing, which is giving you all of these internal conflict, and because of that, you're finding it very difficult to move forward and get things done because you have that blockage in your mind currently. So this giraffe spirit is like, we're going to help you understand things better, say things better, and be able to and guide you towards the path that you have to take. And this electric eel spirit is reversed because it says bring your ideas to life. So I feel that this is talking specifically about his career and saying, remember that you have the skills, you have the potential to do great things in your life and in your career. So, act like you know that, if that makes sense. Like, start, get your head in the game type of thing. Oh, you know what? I started singing the High School Musical song. Get your head in the game type of thing. And that one, I guess you could call it a bridge. That one part when Troy is singing how his head's in the game, but his heart is in the song. And then I don't want to sing anymore. Well, I don't want to say more just in case anything happens. But basically, it kind of feels like, yeah, he has to work. He has to get his, the job done, focus on that, and make things happen, and yada, yada, yada. But he feels like his heart is not in alignment with his career yet. And I feel that, yeah, there's a whole blockage of not seeing his potential and his skills and the value that he brings in his career. But there's also a high chance that he feels this pressure of just doing what he's told instead of doing what he feels like, what feels right for him and what he feels confident with, or what he feels called out to do. Whatever mission he may have in mind, or whatever reason life has him in his career. If that makes sense. So yeah. Let's see what other messages we have. We have the snake spirit, time to heal. The moth spirit, surrender now. So it kind of feels like he's being guided and taken care of. It's like trust. Take the leap of faith. So I'm getting strong, full vibes. So for those people that don't know, in tarot, there in the Major Arcana, the first card, which is the Fool, represents taking the leap of faith, starting this new chapter, getting this new beginning, and just having faith that things are going to work out the way that they have to work out. And the only thing that you have to do is just do your own thing. Do you, and you get where you have to get. That type of thing. This snake spirit is telling me that right now he has, snakes going around and protecting him and guiding him and making him understand the mental blockage that he has. And I feel that's the healing that he has to do. Solve all of that internal conflict that he currently has to be able to just make everything else flow as it should, with confidence, happiness, and optimism. Let's see, one more card. Okay, so we have this spirit, the chameleon spirit, act as if. So they're all reversed. So it feels like right now he's being heavily protected and guided and taken care of in his life right now. Since they're all reversed, it tells me that he's so into his own problem currently that it's kind of difficult for him to realize all of the divine guidance and protection he's that is being given to him right now. It feels like he doesn't necessarily need to have like a giraffe spirit with him or a chameleon spirit with him. It's just that these are the energies that are here right now to best explain whatever message has to be given to him, right? But this chameleon spirit kind of tells me that it is like trying to tell him, hey, things are difficult, I understand, but please don't fake it till you make it. Just because it's like, I don't want to say fake it till you make it, because that's what he's doing right now, and it's clearly not helping him. It's not benefiting him. It's just causing him a lot more pain because he's not in his energy, and he's also not facing the fact that he's not in his energy. And I feel like this chameleon spirit is saying more like, be aware of the difficulties you're going through right now and use that as a stepping stone to become better, become happier, or become a lot more balanced and confident. I don't really know how else to explain it, but that's like the best way I can explain it currently, which is basically, you can be positive without having to lie to yourself, if that makes sense. And of course, it's very hard to switch from the going from a pessimistic to an optimistic type of mentality. Like, it's kind of difficult to just go ploop. But he's being advised, or there's this message of understand that you're going through a difficult time, embrace that, understand it, talk to yourself about it, and get a better idea of what that means to you to be able to solve it, if that makes sense. Because at face value, he may think, oh, my career is a problem, I'm not happy with it. But then if he digs deeper, he will realize that his career is not necessarily the issue. The issue is how he sees it, if that makes sense. And then if he digs deeper, he will be able to figure out what the actual problem is, and then realize, oh, well, that's not an issue, I can just do this, and then boom, everything's kind of just solved, right? Like, it's like you have a ball of yarn and it starts tangling itself more and more and more and even more, and the best way to untangle it sometimes is just to pull the right piece of thread out, and then boom, and just kind of, I don't know, I always find it interesting to untangle like jewelry or threads and stuff like that. It's frustrating, but it's also very relaxing and satisfying when you untangle it. But yeah, let's see what other healing messages we have for him. We have Mercury, so communication is definitely important. And I'm getting that the best form of communication that he needs right now, the most healing, is the communication he has with himself. Not necessarily with anybody else, but himself. Oh, we have Pluto. You have Venus. So this kind of tells me that there's this sense of transformation, death, and rebirth. So I'm getting this Phoenix moment for him, to just see things a lot more beautiful. And Mercury and Venus are two of the planets that people like to look at in natal charts to understand your characteristics and your personality as well. So I do think that it's kind of saying, you know, you're gonna have these are planets, so this is energy working with him. I don't know necessarily which area, but it's kind of like being able to communicate with himself more effectively, and also with other people, but most importantly himself, trying to see the beauty in life, trying to understand how things can be a lot happier, a lot more luxurious, a lot more abundant and fortunate. And Pluto is supposed to symbolize a transformation that is going to be almost heritage. So is the ability to see the transformations and the rebirth, you know, the death and rebirth that he's going to go through, to be able to transform in this better person that will then be skills and knowledge and wisdom that can be passed down in his family bloodline, if that makes sense, like going down in generations. So whatever he does right now is going to be very beneficial, since it seems like he wants to have kids. I don't know if he really does, but if he does, to put that knowledge to his kids and have less energetic baggage for them, if that makes sense. So I feel like these are telling him the areas he needs to work on, but also expressing the long-term rewards that can come out of doing this healing. We also have wisdom. So definitely that's what I was talking about, having that wisdom that can be passed down to his kids if it ever comes down to it. And I mean bloodline, so I mean that whatever, you know, it's kind of like when you teach someone by example type of thing. That's what I mean by passing down that wisdom through his bloodline and generations and stuff like that. And it doesn't necessarily have to be only his future family. It could also mean the people surrounding him. Just by setting the example of just being true to himself will help other people also start getting that wisdom and adapting it to themselves to also be true to themselves, even if they're not in the same situation as him. We have the crown, which is spirituality, so it's definitely, I'm getting strong hawk spirit vibes. Yeah, it was a hawk. So being very precise, being very clear, focused, laser focused, and understanding that knowledge and understanding that 12th house type of energy that I was talking about in his career. And the last thing that we have is the Angel of Sky, which it feels like it's just to remind him that he is divinely protected and taken care of in the current situation he's in. So even if he doesn't notice it, even if he doesn't realize it, life is out here, supporting our boy and making sure he's doing well for himself and making sure he is advancing and growing as an individual. Because this is important for him. This is important. Even though this obstacle he's currently in doesn't feel like a big deal necessarily, it is still very important for his journey and down his path. But with all of that said, I will end it here. Thank you for everyone that watched this video. Thank you for supporting and giving love to NCT, but specifically to NCT's member Jaemin, since this is his reading. Continue supporting him, continue loving him, and continue sending him positive and good vibes as well. And thank you for everyone that not only watches this video but also supports the channel. I'm very grateful for all the love that you're giving, for all your beautiful comments and all of your suggestions as well. And let me see, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope you found it entertaining, and I hope you learned something from this, or I hope it made you happy somehow. So yeah, love and healing from my part to you, and see you on the next one, whenever that is, with whoever that is. Bye.